Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall is 22 minutes past 10. All the twos on a 24-hour clock on Tuesday night. Back with, what have we? We have four for tomorrow. I was trying to get rid of one of them or two of them, and I just said I'd let them off. They're sort of, excuse me, sort of safe-ish, I would think, but I'd often thought wrong before. Each way bets. Might do an each way lucky 15 with them. Bit of a head cold tonight. My own fault. The Chiefs and the Jaguars started playing at 1:15 last night, and of course, I didn't go to bed. Chiefs are up 14-0, going well, and then mistake after mistake. I never seen educated. Well, they're supposed to be educated. They're not too smart. Some of them. They don't even know a straight line from a crooked line to line up in the line of scrimmage. There was a 99-yard interception just before half time. No, in the third quarter it was. And the Jags got a touchdown very close to the end. So they got beaten. The Chiefs got beaten by 3 points, 31-28. Could have done with that win because the three teams in would have went level on in the division. Now they're 2-3 instead of 3-2. I fell asleep during it a couple of times. Woke up just after 4 o'clock when I went to bed. So head cold this morning. Went back to bed and I got up at 11:30 with the intention of going to Galway. Went looking for my glasses, got them, and the wing of the glasses fell off. So I do believe strongly in fate, and when a couple of things just happen like that, I say no, I'm not going. So I didn't go to Galway, and there was trying to transfer money to somebody in England, and I hadn't their IBAN. I had a couple of things, but I needed more, so I posted instead. Risky posting cash in an envelope, but I registered it for $9.70. So hopefully to get it. It's gone anyway. So it didn't go to Galway. I'd have had a really good day the way the results were, but made a few pound. Paul Collins was the first off. I was always comfortable watching it because I knew he had stamina and that Slevin. I was saying, yeah, he's doing the right thing. Drifted out from eights out to 12s today and opened up at nines and then it came into sevens. Got up on the line, and even after the last, you could. There's sometimes you say, "Oh no, we're cursed here" or something, but yeah, I knew today. Well, I was thinking, yeah, we're going to get this, and we got it. Grand winner. That won't go up too much in the handicap, and we'll keep an eye on it. I think that go up £4 or £5 up a furlong. That can even go to 3-2. That hurt. And then Hopewell Rock, we took on the favourite. We beat the favourite, but we didn't beat the one that went out in front. That ran in the Melrose 2 runs back and didn't do too well. And then its last run in air, I sort of wasn't too worried about it, even though it's a 3-year-old. But I was more worried about the other 3-year-old and what happens. Doesn't get up. I thought it would go past. And it did go ahead at one stage in the last furlong, but we got beaten. And when you seen the still on the line, he hadn't his head forward like the other one had. If there were if the head was down, if the heads were reversed, we'd have had one. But anyway, it's not simple, this game at times. But we got the long shot. It was better to have the longer price winner than the shorter one. The couple of tomorrow in Nottingham and a couple in Navan. In Nottingham, we have a 1.75 miles race, and Navagio for James Horton. This is down to 77. When he got it, it was 96. So that's down what £19. ran a couple of decent runs back here, and when third, and but was higher in the handicap. Horton is doing fairly well, but the last day in Beverley, Oak Stone Cold lost by it was behind by 3 or 4 lengths at the start. That's it in the yellow cap there. Absolutely nowhere to go. Bananas. Full of heart. Now, he's no cigar, but what to find his own level. There's around an 8-1 shot there earlier. They're in 4 places. A lot of them there are given a quarter of the odds, 3 places. That's, yeah, you have a choice then. Might be the better of a quarter of the odds, maybe. Navagio. There's a bit of money for it there now because it was 8-1 here a while ago. I was watching sevens there now. On to Nottingham. Oh, yeah, there's another one in Nottingham tomorrow before that. And the heavier the ground, the better for last year's winner, Pique. Is buying Nathaniel out of a Baratea mare, so the hock deep, up to their knees they can go. Barateas love it, and Nathaniel. But it won this race last year as a 3-year-old. Heavy ground, hosed up, of 80, and it's 81 this year. And if we look the difference on soft ground, a hard bad ride this day. But it's just as well because it was dropped £2 since. This was in one of those racing leagues. That's it back here with the brown hat, all dressed up and nowhere to go. He didn't know whether to come this way or he didn't know whether to stay. He decides to come this way, but the door gets closed. He goes back again. The green lad comes over and says, not for you. He goes along here. Nowhere to go there, you see. Nottingham, there'd be no excuses like that, you would imagine, even though there's 9 in the field. There's a couple of 3-year-olds, that you wouldn't know what they're, but there's rain promised, I seen. So let it down, because he'll handle it, or she will. 11-2 shot. It was a bit bigger earlier. There's them two. And there's Navan then. There's a maiden there tomorrow. 6 furlongs. Went for a horse before there, and it ran well enough, but it didn't win. And it's sort of should her get off the pot job tomorrow for Poweracclaim. It's a 5-1 shot. It should be sort of in the first 3, but the strong hill finish might bring the best out of it. Johnny Murta going all right. Um, Third run back after the layoff. Ran a decent race, in the Curragh there. Finished off the race strong, but the uphill finish should suit. Can go on sort of any ground. There's a money for that on Toher. It's changed yards to Daniel Murphy, but hasn't ran since last March or that. And the other ones there's a 72 rated Men of Honour. There's excuses. Show it nearly, if it doesn't win tomorrow, it'll not win a maiden. They'll have to go handicapping with it. 9-2. There's a 0-60. A lot of the time I don't delve into North the 60s because they're inconsistent beasts. In those, there's the old only spoofing, 11 years of age. He was unlucky the last time. He couldn't get a gap in time in Bellewstown, but he got out too late. But his stablemate is lightly raced for Kevin Coleman, Hereni by Blue Point. The last 14 days, last 3 weeks, he has had one winner, but he's had 9 places out of maybe 18 to 20 runners. So they just haven't been, they've been hitting the bar, sort of. But this is rated 59. And if you look at the last day's race in Cork, that in the 70s, the 74, 75, 76, 67, and the previous run only beaten a couple of lengths in Fairy House. Blue spoofing, Ronnie spoofing better that day, actually. I was looking at that earlier, but I think this will turn the tables today. A good run in the Curragh, they're behind Saturn 7. Lightly raced. It's the 5-1 favourite. There is another one, the race that Mount Repos, but the yard is sort of not in good form. The favourite, it beat a horse the last time, I think was rated 41, was it? Or there was one close to it. I mean, it was a Dire Straits affair. But the handbrake was off, the money was down. 42.50, I mean, that was bottom of the barrel stuff. Mount Repos, Mark Fahey hadn't a winner in a month, I think. But this is inconsistent as well. But it had a good run when it was fourth down Royal, and it was dressed up and nowhere to go that day as well. But I'm just the top weight and that jockey is a few winners. He's a good head of them. Julian Pietrapola. In 5 places. I was sort of saying, well, he should be knocking on the door anyway. For the National Hunt fans tomorrow, I look at an odd race. There's a Class 3 race there tomorrow. Almazar Guard going for 3 in a row. But there's an inform yard down at the bottom, Martin Keatley, another day out. He's 2 out of 5 in the last 14 days. I was going to take on him. Won a couple of races before. Yard and Forum. Hasn't gone well fresh before, but a Yard and Forum this time of the year can be a plus at times. 4-1. I'd rather back him now than the Fav. It's a long time ago since Almazar Guard let me down. He was 5 lengths up jumping the last. I think it was in Catterick, was it? I got beaten on the line. I never forgive him since. Anyway, it's not that, but this. Stelia is declared on Thursday in 5:15, the last race at Thurles. 2 mile on the flat. Back only 2 weeks after running, but she was in season that day. Trainer wants to break the 3-week cycle, that she won't be in season this time for sure. And 2 mile on goodish ground. It'll be a learning curve. Last year's winner, Empress Alma, is a pound lower this year. Looks to be targeted for it. Tony Merton has a horse there that came from France, Gone. It was sort of an eye-catching third in Dunroyal, I think it was. And the Truant is carrying top weight. So Chris Hayes is up. The handbrake will be off. We should be trying, but we don't know what way it'll go with the 2 mile. Step up and trip, the way she finished her race at a mile and a half in Galway. It looks like it'll suit. Possibly a better angle may have been, but there wasn't one mile 6 to check it out to see how she was going. I didn't bring her up the next couple of furlongs, but every day is a school day, so we'll see. Bash the bookies over and out.